So, let me be real for a second. How do you talk about processed food addiction without sounding like some judgmental food snob? Because if you've ever tried to explain why you don't eat certain things or why you're changing your diet, you've probably gotten the look. You know the one. The raised eyebrow, the little smirk, well, here we go again look. I used to dread these conversations. I still do sometimes. I didn't want to sound preachy. I didn't want to be the person who makes everyone else feel bad for eating chips or cake. But at the same time, I knew that I couldn't keep living the way I was living. And I needed people to understand this wasn't about me being fancy or better than anyone else. It was about my survival. So today, I'm going to share exactly how I talk about food addiction now in a way that's honest but not judgmental. And I'm going to give you a few go-to phrases that you can literally use next time someone questions you about why you're eating differently. And here's the key. Once you get this down, you'll feel way less defensive and way more confident in your choices. So stick with me, because later in this video, I'm going to share the one mindset shift that instantly changed how people responded to me when I talked about food addiction. Oh, and quick heads up before we deep dive. If you want a clear plan to start healing your relationship with food, I made a free 5-step roadmap to help you with that. It's short and simple and shows you the exact steps that I took to break free from food addiction. The link is in the description below and you can grab it after the video. And also, this is really exciting for me because I've just opened the VIP waitlist for my upcoming program, Finish Strong, Start Strong. It's designed to help you finally stop the start and stop cycle and roll into the new year with serious momentum. If you've been telling yourself, I'll start later, this is the thing that makes later actually happen now. And I'm going to tell you a little more towards the end. So, back when I first learned about processed food addiction, I honestly felt embarrassed. And I didn't even want to say it out loud. I mean, who wants to admit, hey, I can't control myself around potato chips or ice cream? That felt super weak to me and very shameful. And if I did try to explain it to someone, it usually came out wrong. It sounded like I was saying something like, well, I don't eat that crap anymore, which, let's be honest, makes people feel judged even if you didn't mean it that way. The truth, I wasn't judging anyone else. I was just desperate to save my life. But at first, I didn't know how to say that without making the whole conversation weird and awkward. Here's the tricky part. Processed food addiction is very real, and it is destroying lives, lots of lives. But most people won't see it that way. They think it's just about more willpower, or they even laugh it off like, I'm addicted to donuts too. So, how do you explain something so serious without sounding dramatic or worse, like you're more superior? This is where I had to change not just what I was saying, but how I was saying it. And once I did that, the way people responded to me really totally shifted. Here are the 3 big things that I've learned that actually work when you're talking about processed food addiction. Number 1, make it about you and not them. When I would say that food is toxic, people would instantly get defensive. But when I said, I can't eat that because it triggers me, it really changed everything. You're not labeling the food as bad or dirty. You're simply explaining your personal experience. It's kind of like an allergy. Nobody is going to argue with someone who says I can't eat peanuts. So why can't it be the same when I say I can't eat processed sugar because it hijacks my brain? When you frame it that way, it doesn't sound like judgment. It's just me telling you the truth. Number 2, use relatable language. The word addiction, it can feel really heavy to people and it can have a negative connotation. So sometimes I will swap it with words like trigger or struggle. For example, instead of saying I'm addicted to chips, I might say, if I start eating those chips, I am not going to stop. It's just easier for me if I don't even start. That way people immediately connect, because almost everyone has that one food where they just can't stop at one. And you're not lecturing them. You're just being very relatable. Number 3, share from a place of humility. Here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. I stopped trying to convince people, and I just started sharing my story. When I said things like, I've lost 200 pounds, but I still cannot touch processed sugar or it's going to set me off. People really leaned into that because it wasn't theory and it wasn't me preaching to them. It was real life, my experience, and me sharing from a place of humility does 2 things. It makes you human, and it gives people permission to look at their own habits without any shame. So, now let's talk about something that is really tough for me. What if it's not just you? What if it's someone that you love and you can see that they're trapped in this processed food addiction, but they don't see it yet? This can be tricky because the last thing you want to do is push them away. But here's what I've learned. Always lead with your story instead of saying, you need to stop eating that. You can say, here's what happened to me when I was eating that way. People will really connect with your story, and they tend to not do so hot with lectures. Ask gentle questions. Something like, do you ever notice how you feel after eating that? Or have you ever felt like you can't stop once you start with certain foods? This opens the door without shoving it in their face. And if you're a parent or a teacher, you know this one. Model the change. Sometimes the most powerful thing that you can do is just quietly live it out. When they see your energy shift and your weight drops and your mood improving, they're going to notice. Trust me. Then you can offer help. Never offer judgment. Instead of saying, you're addicted, try saying, I know how hard this is, and if you ever want to talk, I am here for you. At the end of the day, you cannot force anyone to see it before they're ready. Trust me. But you can plant seeds with love and patience. And sometimes that's what gets through more than anything else. I have seen it happen in my own life. I will never forget one time early on, I was at like this family get-together gathering. Someone offered me dessert. And I said, no, thank you. I don't eat that stuff anymore. The second those words left my mouth, I regretted them because I could see it in their eyes. They thought I was judging them for eating the dessert. Trust me, that was not my heart at all. But the way I said it, it came across that way. So now I would say something different. I'd say, thanks, but sugar's a trigger food for me, and I feel so much better without it. See the difference? It's the same boundary, but there's totally different energy in both of those statements. Okay, so let me give you a few quick phrases that you can use the next time you're in this situation. That food doesn't play nice with me. It's lighthearted, but it's also honest. Once I start with that, I can't stop, so I just skip it. It's very relatable, and there's absolutely no judgment. I'm working on healing my relationship with food, so I'm sticking with what I know makes me feel good. This one shows self-care, but not superiority. These little shifts take the edge off the conversation, and suddenly it doesn't feel like you're lecturing. It just feels like you're sharing your story. And listen, if you're nodding along right now, but you're also thinking, okay, but how do I actually stay consistent with this, especially with the upcoming holidays. That's exactly why I created this new program. Finish strong, start strong, and the VIP waitlist is open now. This program is all about helping you end this year with wins under your belt and roll straight into the new year already in motion. No waiting for motivation, no I'll start again later. If you've been in that cycle of doing great for a few weeks and then falling off, this is designed for you. And I'm going to leave the link down below so you can hop on that VIP list and get first access. Here's what I want you to know. Talking about food addiction doesn't have to be awkward. You don't have to defend yourself, and you definitely don't have to sound like some food snob. You just need to make it personal. Keep it relatable and share from a place of humility. And when it comes to loved ones, lead with love and not lectures. That's it. And when you do, people are not going to roll their eyes. They're going to respect your boundaries. Some of them might even be inspired to make a change themselves. We can hope. So here's what I want you to do next. Next time you're offered food you don't eat anymore, try one of the phrases I gave you. See how different it feels. And if you're ready to take things deeper, don't wait. Join the VIP waitlist for Finish Strong, Start Strong. That way, you can finally stop that cycle and build something that lasts. All right, let me know in the comments what's the one food that triggers you the most. Until our next conversation, stay kind to yourself, eat like you love yourself, and keep going. You are doing better than you think. Bye for now.